it's gonna get hard to breathe.
Hold tight, baby.
Never let you down. Even if we're going down, hey yo, never let go of me. When I'm sinking,
loose lips sink ships, that's what someone told me. But this boat will stay afloat as long as you hold me. We've been through rough water, and at times it was tougher. But the fact I came back to remind you I love you. And if that's not enough, well I can one up you. I pinky promise touch thumbs, I never make you suffer. And all I ask in return is some reciprocation. I'll be your oxygen when you're running out of patience. So take a deep breath and hold it tight. My heart is yours, just reassure me that you hold it right. Don't be offended, I'm just the cautious type to always be around to hold you down and never underlie.
Ayo, never let go of me.
Never let go.
Hold tight, it's gonna get hard to breathe.
Hold tight, baby, hold tight.
Never let you down. Even if we're going down. Ayo, never let go of me. When I'm sinking.
In the bottle, I hope that you receive it. If it washes up at your feet, then open it and read it. To whom it may concern, insert your name here. It's destiny that we were both born in the same year. 3 months apart, but on the same sphere. Staring at the sun, inhaling the same air. This type of love we got, they'll never get it. I'll be the Leo DiCaprio to your Kate Winslet. Sometimes I panic, but I never take you for granted. I hold you till my lips turn blue like Jack and Titanic. And if I lose my grip, then just promise me this. You'll keep my love in the locket and always rock it like.
Ayo, never let go of me.
Never let go, never let go.
Hold tight, it's gonna get hard to breathe.
Hold tight, mama, hold tight.
Never let you down. Even if we're going down. Hey yo, never let go of me. When I'm sinking.
There's times when like you find it hard to hold on to something that was never meant to be held on to. So you let it go. If it comes back, it was meant to be. If not, just let it be. Come on!
Ayo, never let go of me.
Never let go, never let go.
Hold tight, it's gonna get hard to breathe.
Hold tight, mama, hold tight.
Never let you down. Even if we're going down. Ayo, never let go of me. When I'm sinking.
Keep fighting for me and keep showing your love and support.
So, right off the bat, 2 things. My dog is so stinking cute. Like, I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at her. She made herself a little nest because the window I have these blinds on my windows, but they're not as great as they could be, and I still have a little bit of sun that comes out, and it always hits my bed in a certain angle, and it's hard to sleep during the day. But anyway, so my dog actually made a little nest right where the sun is falling on my bed to keep it warm, and I'm just like, you're so cute. Show you the baby. Ginger, you want to come over here? You want to say hi to everybody? Here, come here. She's just like, no, I'm good. Come on, Ginger. Come on, Gingy. Come here. Come here. There you go. Yeah, you want to come over here and say hi to everybody? Oh, okay, hold on. Hold on. Oh, say hi, Ginger. Say hi. Whoop. That's what she'll do. Yeah. There's the baby. Oh, she doesn't like cameras. She's like, what are you trying to do? But yeah, here's Ginger. Oh, let me see if I can situate her around. Whoop. Say hi, Gigi. Woo, woo, woo. She's like, what are you doing? I didn't ask for this. By the way, do you guys like my new setup right here with this? This looks a lot nicer, doesn't it? Doggy! Yeah. But yeah, you can see where the light's coming in on the, and it, of course it hits right at my pillow where I lay my head. So, wrong thing. Yeah, so that's Ginger. That's my baby. You're my baby, Ginger. That's why I call her Baby Ginger. Hey, Roxana. Hey, Colette, Carrie, Jasnaz. Yeah. So, and then number 2 is I've been looking on Twitter. I check Twitter a couple times a day since the whole Candace Owens convicting a murderer thing, and she's so cringe. That's all I can say. She's just very cringe. Blackout curtains work. It's just I need to get a better curtain rod. In all honesty, my curtain rod that I have right now is holding on by the will of God. It's just like holding on. I actually don't understand how it's still holding on, but it is. I need new curtain rods, and it probably would work just fine. It's just the curtain rods are the main issue. But yeah, no, I got blackout curtains. They worked when I first got them. They were perfect. And just, over the years, the curtain rod just wasn't. It's one of those old ones that, you kind of like, they bend easy and all that stuff. So I could invest in some new curtain rods, and it would probably work out a lot better. And it also doesn't help that my bed is right up against the curtains, so it kind of like doesn't just fall down, if you know what I mean. It's, yeah. But, I mean, the cat and the dog like to go up in there and will sit in the sun, which is fine. It's just for me, because I sleep during the day, that's the problem. But yeah. Hey, Disco. But yeah, so I guess just like giving you guys an update. I don't know if you guys follow or in my Discord or follow me in the group, but I did make an announcement concerning Linda's health. She needs all the thoughts and prayers she can get. She informed us, I believe on Saturday, she had to go to the ER for extreme pain issues, and she finally got a proper diagnosis to what's been going on with her. If you guys have been following the channel for a long time, you would know she's been struggling a lot. I'd say over the last 2 years. And it just kept getting worse, but recently we've she went to the hospital for pain. It was just so unbearable for her, and the doctor finally ran some appropriate tests, and she came back with a diagnosis of breast cancer. And I can't say the word right. Everyone else can say it but me. But it basically got it spread to her spine, and now it's basically in her bones. So I just know she's really uncomfortable. She's in a lot of pain right now. She has an appointment tomorrow with the oncologist, so we'll know more. I have the feeling we're going to have a bit more of an understanding of her diagnosis and their plan and what they'd all like to do. So we we're not. It's not 100% yet until the oncologist appointment. So, but still keep her in your prayers. Send her messages of love and support. I know she can't respond to everybody right now because her pain is really bad and it's hard for her. That's part of the reason why she hasn't been on the channel a lot. She's just been in a lot of pain, and it's a little bit harder for her to keep up with that, but I know she's reading it all. And if anything, if you post it, and me and Jinx, and I know Disco and Darkside, we've been, checking in with her a lot. So we've been also reading her things that people have been posting as far as support and love goes. So, yeah. So hopefully, let's all pray that tomorrow is a good visit to the oncologist, and we get some good news, and yeah. So that is kind of it's rocked my world because Linda is she's like a family member to me. I love her a lot. She's part of the reason why we have this channel. She is the reason. If anything, she came to me 2 or 3 years ago out of nowhere. I got a message from her. Didn't really know her, right? Got a message from her, and she said, "Hey, I have a YouTube channel, and I want to know if you can come on and I can ask you questions about Brendan and blah blah blah." And I was like, I don't know. I'm not really, because this is when I was doing Be Brendan Brave. And that was just all I was doing was Be Brendan Brave. And she's like, "No, I want you to come on and talk about Brendan and what you do for him, blah blah blah." So I was like, okay, well, and and then she kept inviting me back, and then it turned into Positively Brendan Friday, where we would give little updates every Friday, and so she's actually the reason how all of this began. She's the reason why I even have a channel. My original Brendan Talks channel is actually in her name, on her account. And the only reason why I created my own separate from that account was because everything on that old account was me, right? I was uploading all the videos and everything, and she would get not copyright strikes, but she would get like little notices saying, "Hey, that's copyright material," and she's monetized, or she was monetized. I think she canceled her monetization, not because of me, but because of anyway. I basically started a separate account from her account because it was stressing her out getting those emails, because like I said, she can be monetized. She chose not to be monetized. She was monetized, but she actually chose not to be monetized because her her passion is always going to be Brendan. A lot of people don't realize this, but Linda is one of Brendan's biggest supporters and advocates out there. She really, truly is. She's up there with Eric Cozy. She's an amazing supporter for Brendan. And excuse me. You know, but her passion kind of went to missing people, especially children and minorities. She's very passionate about that. So her channel was kind of taking a direction that way rather than just Brendan and making a murderer. And she said she didn't feel comfortable monetizing, making money basically off of children and them being missing and stuff. So that's why she canceled it. So I actually respect her a lot because she's one of the few people who could monetize and could make a killing with it. But she just chose that, well, I'm not going to make money off of the suffering of others, which, you know, in my personal opinion, if you have a YouTube channel and you're able to monetize and make money, because this isn't cheap, okay? Having a YouTube channel isn't cheap. Like, if you really like I don't want to like brag about the money I spend on here, but like I spend $20 a month just for StreamYard. I think it's 20. I spend like $10 a month on the app or the program that I use to make these pictures, these videos and stuff, which I love to do. So like, don't get me wrong, I use it all the time. Like the I Still Stand with Brendan Dassey picture, that's what I used. Here. That's this program that I got. That's not a good example. That's not a good example either, but you know, these are like this one. These are programmed. This is from the program that I use, so I can make these fancy pictures and be like slightly a little bit more professional looking and stuff. Yes, and then there's the Brendan website. You know, that's, you know, it all costs money, which I'm happy to spend. So like, this isn't me. I'm just making a statement. If a YouTuber out there who is in the community monetizes their channel and you're not making big bucks, you know what I mean? You're not making like hundreds of dollars a month when you monetize your channel. But if you make like 20 something bucks, hey, Millbilly, you know, it all goes back into the channel and into what we do for the guys. So when you see BrendanDassey.com, that costs money to set that up, you know, which, like I said, we're all proud to do. But and then here's the petition if anybody wants to sign and share it. I looked last night, we're at 1,200 signatures, which I think that's pretty cool. So excuse me, yeah, so let's keep it up. You know, we let's see, I don't have it on here. Yeah, so let keep up those signing and sharing and getting that out there. And every time Candace Owens tweets, I've been tweeting a picture. I really should be tweeting the petition too under her tweets too. So I'll start doing that too. Yes, Linda's she's the reason why a lot of us are here. She's the reason why I joined Discord. If it wasn't for Linda, I wouldn't have joined Foul Play. If it wasn't for Linda, I wouldn't have joined Foul Play. I wouldn't have met Jinx. I wouldn't have met BB. I wouldn't have met Disco. I met Millbilly through YouTube, I believe. Jazznaz, you know, a lot of people that if it wasn't for Linda introducing me to this part of the supporter world, I wouldn't, you know, be involved in a lot of this stuff. I wouldn't have learned so much about Brendan's case because they really helped me a lot. guide me to learning more and the discussions. We wouldn't have the Discord that we have, which is a a really awesome community. And so yeah, I don't follow I've never really liked Candace. I never really cared for Candace, so I can't really speak on how she used to be, but I'm happy I've met you too, Disco. You're one of my favorite peoples. For real. All of you in chat, I love you all, but I got some favorite peoples. And Disco's one of them. I enjoy talking to her. She's very an intelligent woman. And I enjoy talking about social injustices with her. Because we have the same ideologies in that. And she has an emotional support Godzilla, which, I mean, who doesn't like that about somebody? How awesome is that? But yeah, so Linda's just an overall amazing person, and I'm really sad that she's going through this right now. But I know she's also a very strong-willed, stubborn person, and I know that no matter what happens in this, she'll overcome it and come out on top somehow. So let's see. So yeah, unfortunately, that is one little announcement that I was given permission to make, because I think Linda is having a hard time not accepting it, but just like communicating that. It's pretty heavy to communicate, and plus, like I said, it's hard for her to type or anything like that right now. So just if you do send her love, please be patient or understanding. She may not be able to get back to you right away. But yeah, I talked to Brendan last Saturday. He was doing really good. Yeah, he's doing really good. He didn't mention Cam or anything to me, but I do think he's slightly not upset, but I guess, worried about how this could affect his family. So if everybody, if when you write to him or send him a card, a gentle reminder that you love him and support him no matter what, that would be nice for him to hear or read. Let's see. So I sent out, Disco, I need your address still, if you can. Send me a message. But what now that I'm thinking, this is I sent out a bunch of these postcards over the last a week and a half, and I'm waiting on more stamps so I can send out more. So there's still like a couple more people, but for overall, if you'd like sorry, I keep yawning. I stand with Brendan Dassey postcard. My goal is to make sure everyone gets at least 2 or 3, and one of them I'd like you to take some sort of picture with, a selfie or whatever you can. Here, I'll show you an example. Some people have already been doing it, which is great. All right, my allergies are just kicking my butt. Okay. So this is just an example of, I'm only using this picture because their porch looks absolutely stinking cute. I love how it looks so fall. I wish sometimes I lived in an area that had cool fall. You know what I mean? Like cool like leaves. Anyway, so this is an example of one way you can do it. This was for the Light Your Way Home thing we did on our October 2nd. But this still works too. So you take a picture like this if you'd like. You know, take a picture. Let's see. Let's see. Where's the other post? Okay, then this is what somebody else did. If you want it, and this is something you could do. But the whole point is that I want everyone to take a picture like this person did, Karen. Yes, Carrie, I made the meal longer. I've given it like another extra couple of days. So if you guys want to post those pictures, because I forgot to do it too. I'm going to do that tonight for dinner, some sort of chicken. But anyway, if you guys, so the whole point of these is that when you take your picture with the postcard, either, like I said, you can do it with no face, with the scenery behind it. You can do it with your selfie. You can do it however. But I went on October 19th, I want everyone to go on Twitter, online, hashtag, free Brendan Dassey, hashtag making a murderer. I want all of that happening on his birthday because we're going to flood online with positive support of I still stand with Brendan Dassey. So that's what the pictures are for. Number 2 is I have 2 addresses that you can send 2 of those postcards to. One is Candace Owens, and the other one is Governor Evers. So if you guys get the postcards, you can fill them out even now and send them off now. Like you can send those off now to Candace Owens and to Governor Evers. On Brendan's birthday, we might do like an email zap thing. If Carol wants to help me with that, Carol, if you're listening, for the Working Project group, which is another place that you guys can join. It's where we mostly just keep to our projects of what we're doing for Brendan and all that, so we're a little bit more organized. But like that might be something that we do on his birthday too for Governor Evers, is to send him all email saying, Brendan's 34 now and still in prison for something he didn't do, but yeah, send those postcards to Candace. One postcard to Candace Owens, I still stand with Brendan Dassey. One to Governor Evers, and just please remember when you send off these postcards to anybody, we represent Brendan. We need to be respectful. As we can, very firm in our beliefs, but respectful. Why did it go for I stand, I still stand? Because the whole narrative that convicting a murderer is changing our minds, I kind of like played off of that and kind of like a no matter what they say, we still stand with Brendan Dassey. I'm actually going to be putting together another postcard that has Stephen and Brendan on it. I just have to get around to ordering it because of things coming up. But and as soon as I get those postcards, I'm going to be posting them in more Stephen oriented groups. So if people want those postcards, they can, I can send them to you too. And it involves Stephen. And I'm kind of working with the person that runs the Stephen Avery is Innocent group on those postcards. So there's like a different list of people that they suggested we send those to, which I'm like, I'm fine with that, yeah, I'm just, I got a lot of, we're getting to that time of year where there's a lot of expenses. So, and there's a wedding coming up. You guys know, if you've ever been married before, weddings are expensive. Especially if you're not getting married. Like, I'm not getting married, but especially if you're getting married, I should say. But I'm not the one getting married. I'm just supposed to show up and eat the free food, but I have to buy a dress and shoes and travel out there. But anyway. But yeah, that's why we did the I still stand. That's kind of why I made it to where it's like, you're writing it in. I still stand, because no matter what Candace or anybody out there tries to say, is Brendan's still innocent. No matter, you can't change the truth, You can't change the truth, no matter how you put it in a documentary. And the truth is that Brendan and Stephen are innocent. So here, let me see if I can get the example of the other postcard. Do I have it? Hold on. Hold, please. Let me see if I can find it. I posted it in the groups. The other postcard design. I just hadn't made it yet. So this is this is it, basically. Weddings are ridiculous. So it says, I still stand with Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey, and there's going to be like a QR code at the bottom corner where I'm going to have my usual tree link to all the different information. And then I'm still deciding I'm still deciding on what kind of website I want to put at the bottom of it. I'm not sure, because I want to have some sort of website so where people can have some place they can refer to, and I might just use the QR code instead of an actual website, because I could put the Free Brendan Dassey website, but there's nothing on there about Stephen on that website. So, you know what's unfair? Do you hear my phone going off right now? Probably both, yeah. I don't know if Stephen has a website. I'll have to ask. We might just do Kathleen's owners. But okay, so do you hear my phone going off multiple times? So ding, ding, ding. The petition is for both of them. I could put a... Hey, bye, Carrie. Thank you for popping on. Oh, right, the emergency thing. But anyway, so do you hear my phone going off? I'll talk about the emergency thing here in a minute. But so I work at night. Like, it's almost my bedtime. I'm going to be going to bed here in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up soon. Anyway, my supervisor, I go in at work at 8 p.m. and I get off at 8 a.m. And one of my supervisors was like, do not contact me after 8 p.m. or before 8 a.m. And I'm like, okay, unless it's an emergency. So I'm like, okay, all right, I guess. And But it's unfair. It's because it's 10:52 here a.m. Normally I'd be laying down about now, but that's why I'm kind of doing this real quick, and then I was gonna lay down. But like, then she texts a group, all my coworkers in the group, in a group text, right, to give us all a message. And she said during the last work meeting that if she texts us, we are required to text her back indicating that, yes, we got your text. So, you know, thumbs up, whatever. She's like, I don't care, but you have to let me know that you got the text. So she does this group text, which is one ding. And then you've got a coworker, ding, okay. Another coworker, ding, thumbs up. Ding, thumbs up. Ding, you betcha. Ding. Like, I'm supposed to be sleeping. I don't text you all a group text at 3 a.m. But it's okay for you guys to do it to me. It's night shift problems. It's just night shift drama. I'm just like so annoyed every time I hear the ding, ding. You're supposed to text us back now. Ding. Who cares if I get any sleep, right? Anyway, that's something completely different. Also, yeah, there is going to be like a national like alarm going off soon. I don't really know when. It's probably going to go off just as I'm drifting off asleep. Just as I'm about like falling asleep, my eyes are closed and I'm finally in a comfortable spot in my bed, and I'm just like literally just like going to start to snooze, and then you're going to hear the rah, rah, rah. So I don't really know, but yeah, there is going to be a national alarm. It's supposed to set off every single person's cell phone in America. And I heard it's also supposed to set off your TV. If you have your TV on, it's supposed to set off your radio. I heard basically it's supposed to set off everything that's connected to some sort of form of communication. I'm not exactly sure. I was told even if you turn your phone off, it's supposed to turn your phone on for the alarm. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm good with 5 hours of sleep. I work 10 and 12-hour shifts and third shift. Yeah, see, I work 10 and 12-hour shifts too, Millbilly. I work 5 days a week. And I work between, like I said, I work usually like on Tuesdays and Wednesdays I work 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and on Sundays I work 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and then on Mondays and Thursdays I work 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. So I work the same kind of hours, and I usually get around 5 hours of sleep too. I'm not big on sleeping on the weekdays and the day, to be honest with you. It's really hard for me. I'm lucky to get some, like if I go to sleep in like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, I'll be up again around 3 or 4. So that's like 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, yeah, so. And then I usually try to lay back down and take a nap or something, but that doesn't always happen when you got a house full of people doing things and dogs barking, and like right now, you know, people talking loud because they're deaf. Yeah. When your phone goes off. But yeah, that's what I heard too, Nan's Life. I heard that it's supposed to be turning your phone on even if you turn it off. And like one friend told me I needed to hide my phone or like leave it in my car or something during this time because her husband, I wish Carrie was still on to listen to this because she'd actually get a kick out of this because she likes conspiracy theories. But like, I heard that there's a rumor going around that people think this is going to be some sort of like brainwashing thing that the government's setting up. It's supposed to brainwash us somehow. So even my friend was like, hide it in your car so it stays away from you. Like, no more brainwashing. Like, I don't care anymore. Brainwash me. Only Faraday cage would protect electronics. Yeah, there's like special because it's all like it's all signals and it goes through things. You know, you can't just like say, "Oh, I'm gonna put it in my car," and if it is a brainwashing thing, it would still get to me. Oh yeah, you might get it too up there, Nan. Swift. Yeah, I guess it makes sense, especially if your phones hit the same towers. Hey, under your scars. Yeah, it's all radio waves anyway. Yeah. So and that can go through. I mean, that's why we use it because it can go through anything. You know, with certain well, like even like not to bring it up again because I know people are probably sick of hearing it, but even that submarine that had the billionaires in it, their form of communication was text messages because it could travel, you know, better than phone communications or whatever. All it is just zeros and ones. Anyway, I should look up and see what time it is, so at least I don't get startled when it goes off if I'm sleepy. And sometimes my alarms and stuff incorporate into my dreams. What time is it supposed to go off? The national alarm. Well intended to offer opportunity to learn and prepare for emergencies. 2 p.m. Eastern time, so that's in 20 minutes for me, isn't it? Because what is it? It's 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, it's in 20 minutes. I kind of want to stay on for another 20 minutes just to see what happens with you guys. Just to see what it looks like with you guys on here. It's only 20 minutes. I can hold on for another 20 minutes. And then I can go, because if I go to bed now anyway, it's just going to wake me up. Well, let's see. What else can we talk about while we wait then? New Convicting a Murderer is coming out tonight. So if they start, because I kind of got the indication last episode when they did the preview for next week on Convicting a Murderer, it looks like they might be discussing Brendan some more. Candace Owens made a statement saying Brendan was not on the police's radar until he willingly came forward, which is bullshit, as we all know. That is bullshit. Candace Owens does not have a single idea on how this case actually went down. We all know here. So if you guys go to BrendanDassey.com, me and Carol and even Katie spent a lot of time. You go to BrendanDassey.com and you get this, and then you come over here to case files, right here, this tab. We have every single interview, interrogation sort of thing. We have the reports on things. Brendan Dassey was questioned for the very first time that we're aware of, from official paperwork on November 6th. And if you listen to the interview, he's up in Crivets. Basically, Brendan and Brian are driving in their car, driving in the car. I believe the son was they were going to go get some soda. They were up in Crivets, the whole family, minus Earl. Hey, Dad. The alarm's going to go off in 20 minutes. Okay. Actually, 18 minutes. If you guys check it out, you know, he was pulled over. The police pulled him over. They separated Brian, who I believe was an adult at the time, by the way. I think he was like 19 or 18 or something like that. So he was considered an adult. So they separate a minor from an adult. Thank you, Carol, for posting the link to the case files. And they questioned Brendan by himself in the back of a police car. And that we call it the tick, tick, tick video because if you listen to the audio of it, let's see if I can.
Okay. Brendan, your last name is...
You hear that tick, 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 tick? That's the emergency lights. Tick, 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 tick. Because they're on the side of the road in the back of the car. And they start asking him questions. Now, one of the cool things that we did on this website is that we have the transcript right here. So if you click on the transcript, the video is technically on our YouTube channel here. So you can actually, you can open it on the YouTube side of things and you can actually follow along as they're talking. But as like here, so that's, well, no, I'm just going to do this. So, yeah, so like, okay, Brendan, your last name is Dassey, D-A-S-S-E-Y, yeah, initial R. Right off the bat, you live here, your date of birth, so you just turned 16 years old. You understand you're not under arrest. You're free to leave at any time, and, we just want to ask you some questions concerning what we talked to everyone else, but we haven't talked to you two, okay? What he means you two is you and Brian, because they're probably questioning Brian separately. Last Monday, now you live with your mom, Barb Wright, and Barb is Steve's sister, Chuck's sister, and Earl's sister. Last Monday, you remember seeing this girl at all? I was at school. You come home, did you see Steven at all? You know what he was doing or where he was doing anything like that? He was working. So anyway, so like right off the bat, they start asking him questions about all of this stuff. Immediately, we talk about the rabbit hunting. What happened to your nose? Scratched by a dog. It pisses me off that Baldwin calls him Bud. What happened to your nose, Bud? I don't know. In my mind, Bud is a term of endearment. Like I call my clients Bud. Sometimes I say, So it's like, to me, it's a term of endearment that you would give to somebody, like a child or something like that. And yeah, makes me sick when I read that because it's like they're trying to be more, we're your friends, you can trust us. But yeah, you can read this whole entire thing. You can listen to it. They talk about Barb and Steven's relationship. Let's see. Talk about Bobby and Mike again. Bobby was home. What hours? Third shift. So he usually wake up to noon or something. So when he wakes up, he gets ready to go. And then they're asking him again about the bus. I don't know. It's just like Candace is making it sound like, Brendan went to them first. Like, I have something I need to tell you. I did something bad. Like, no, that's not what happened. And then they're basically badgering him. Looks like you wants to tell me something else. Like, what? The truth. I am telling the truth. That's all I want from you, man. I don't know where she is right now or nothing. I think you do. Why don't you tell me? See, so right off the bat, this is the first time they talk to Brendan. And they're already like, we think you know something. We think you know the truth. You're not telling us the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the we're friends thing, you should never be allowed. They have law enforcement jobs. Right, exactly. And they shouldn't be lying to minors. I think they shouldn't lie to anybody, but especially minors. Like, to me, it's disgusting. And then that, you know, people like Candace Owens defends this behavior as if this was okay. And their poor innocent cops were just doing their job. And, like, let's all feel sorry for them because they you know, basically ruined two people's lives and people didn't like it. You know, the last episode of Convicting, you know, they were talking about how you know, let's all feel bad for Andy Colburn for getting messages. Now, I'm not saying that it was okay or it was right to leave, you know, threatening messages. I would never advocate for that. I just have a really hard time feeling sorry for somebody who, if that's the worst you got, compared to Stephen and Brendan, who lost their lives. Brendan lost his life, basically, at the age of 16. Stephen never really, you know, he lost his life in 85, and he was trying to rebuild it when he got out, and then he lost it again. You know, that Stephen spent more time in prison than he's been free in his life, and now it's the same for Brendan. I have a really hard time feeling bad for somebody who gets nasty voicemails or messages, and then it dies down. Like, it's not like, I don't know if he still gets them to this day, but right, exactly. It's okay for Candace until where to happen to her or someone close to her, then she'll have a different outlook, perhaps. Maybe. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. Like, and I don't agree with threatening with violence. I don't think that's cool. I don't think what those people did were okay. I don't really get messaging somebody privately and being like, you know, saying really nasty things. Like, I don't think that's not something Brendan wants us to do. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not gonna like shed a tear for him either, because, you know, you're not a good guy in this. You know, Colburn isn't the good guy here. You know, Kratz isn't the good guy here. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. But yeah, anyway, back to this. If you guys, you know, so they obviously. Oh, here's the question, by the way, that Jinx thinks she told me this should have been the control question. So they're asking him, they're asking him about his brothers. So they're kind of like, Blaine's the brother. Blaine or Brian? Blaine. Which one is he? The brother he walked in with. Yeah, you got Bobby. Brian and Blaine. Well, Brian and Blaine. So then Detective Neal says you have Brian, Blaine, you. So there's 5 brothers altogether. Yeah, where's Blaine at with his boss? So yeah, he asked him, you know, you have 5 brothers altogether. Technically there's 4. So that's why Jinx is like, that should have been the control question, because you're asking about Brian, Blaine, and Bobby, and you, indicating 4 brothers, what you're saying, so there's 5 brothers. And then Brendan's like, yeah. yeah, so that's the control question. I forget what was. Oh, it was the tattoo on the stomach. Okay, so if you guys followed old school Eric Ozzie, the controlled question, he used to make these t-shirts that says ask me about the control question. The control question is when you ask somebody something that only the killer would know, and then they would answer. And it's kind of like a scientific theory of controlled and something else. But so they asked Brendan during the March 1st interrogation if he saw a tattoo on Teresa's stomach during everything. And Brendan said yes. Now, interrogators asked him that because they knew she didn't have a tattoo on her stomach. So the only person that would know that if she had a tattoo on the stomach is someone who really knew Teresa personally, which Brendan did not, or the killer. You know what I'm saying here? So that was the control question that they asked him, and he said, yeah, there was a tattoo on her stomach. And then later he said, no, there wasn't, or something like that. But that's the control question, and that's what they asked him. But they never really do anything with that. Like, nobody really caught that. You know what I mean? That should have been a big flag saying this kid doesn't know what's going on. He's never seen Teresa Hallback naked. You know, the whole narrative is that he did these unspeakable things him and Steven did while she was tied to a bed naked. So anyway, that was the control question. Anyway, so Jinx is basically, she says that should be the control question. Anyway, back to my original point. So Candace Owens says that should not have been a yes or no question. Yeah, that too. Candace Owens says that, you know, police did not sought out Brendan. Well, so not only did they purposely pull over Brian and Brendan because they knew they needed to question Brendan, and they wanted to question Brendan away from mom, from dad, from grandma, from grandpa, because everybody else was up in credits other than Earl and somebody else, I think. You know. So that's why they cornered him like that. And then again, on November 10th, they questioned him again. It's a follow-up from the 6th, where they ask him around the same kind of questions, and he gives around the same kind of answers. I don't know anything. I didn't get involved. They wrote this report on November 13th, right? But it was on November 10th. So that's 2 times that the police talked to Brendan before March 1st. Then we've got, we've got 5 minutes, by the way. Anyway, then we've got on February 27th. Now, this was after the fact that Kayla came forward with her thing saying that Brendan cried at a party, he lost 30 to 40 pounds, and he saw toes in the fire, right? Which we all know, we don't know if he cried at a party. Brendan's a very sensitive guy, and he was even more sensitive kid. So he probably was crying because of whatever reasons of a teenager going through teenage stuff. Like, it's not easy being a teenager. You got hormones, you've got school. You know, I think he even broke up with a girl because she told him he was too fat, which I don't think he was fat, but that's what she told him. And the reason why he's also starting to watch what he eats, he's trying to lose a little bit of weight. Thus the weight loss thing. But, you know, they're really bad with numbers in the family, I guess, because they're like 40 pounds, which is a lot of weight to lose in a short period of time. If he did lose that much weight, he didn't, obviously, because he's not a stick-thin kid. You know what I'm saying here? So that takes care of those two. And then, you know, did he see toes in the fire? Well, interesting enough, they asked him on February 27th, and if you guys want to read that report, one was at the Mishicot High School, and then they brought him to the Two Rivers Police Station. There's transcript and audio for that. And then came the March 1st interview. They went to Brendan, by the way, still. They are still going to Brendan with these things. They went to Brendan on the 27th, November 10th, November 6th, and March 1st. Right, March 1st is the one he gets arrested from now. Now, the only time, and then you've got O'Kelly. O'Kelly's the one who went to him too. Fox Hills, yes, if you consider Fox Hills. So they continuously go to Brendan every single time they went to Brendan. Yeah, I don't have Fox Hills on the list because we don't have anything. There is a report, I believe. I should probably go find it and then stick it on the website, and then that way it's on there. I saw a comment. Oh, there it goes. It's early. It says, this is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System. The purpose of this is to maintain and improve alert and warning capabilities. Tribal, territorial levels, and evaluate. No action required by public. Did everyone get it? Or was it just me? Oh, can you hear it? Oh, I thought it was talking. I think that's my mom. Did anybody in chat get the alarm too? Or was I just, because it's like 2 minutes early for me. You got it too, Billy? Aw, see, we're all connected today. Colette got it.
My Faraday bag worked.
Huh?
My Faraday bag works.
Okay.
It didn't have my phone.
Oh, you put it in the back?
Yeah.
Exactly. He was, though, on the radar. Anyway, so continuing on to this, and then I'm probably going to be signing off here. That was pretty cool, though, that we all got it. So, all right. So we've got March 1st, he's arrested. I heard it through the grapevine, your mic. All right, so then O'Kelly happens, right? So let's count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you want to count February 27th as twice because it's once in high school, and then they take him from the school to the police station, so they're still pursuing him. No, speaking up did not put him on the radar. And so then we've got May 12th is where, again, O'Kelly pulls him aside and questions him and does another interrogation. It wasn't until this interview that O'Kelly says, hey, Brendan, do you want to talk to the investigators? Hey, do you want to talk to the investigators? We can set it up. And he says, sure. So he still isn't necessarily pursuing it. He's basically taking the lead from O'Kelly. Then this happens on May 13th. So this is the one where the investigators are saying, you asked us to be here. Technically, O'Kelly and Kaczynski arranged for this meeting, not Brendan. Brendan is still not chasing after the investigators. We're not in denial. This is actually the truth. if you got you, I just pointed out how they targeted Brendan 3 or 4 times before Kayla even came into the picture. So we're definitely not in denial. It's definitely all here in black and white. But you have a good night too. Come jump over. I'm probably gonna have to stop streaming on Facebook anyway soon, because Facebook's starting to crack down on the whole music thing. So even by May 13th, when he has this meeting with Fassbender and Meager, and they tell him, you know, that you asked us to be here, well, technically it wasn't him. It was O'Kelly and Kaczynski. They're basically saying that we're in denial because they said Kayla speaking up put him on the radar. Well, Kayla, when was the time that Kayla talked to investigators? What day was that? Millbilly would probably know right off the top of his head. Millbilly. When did Kayla talk to investigators originally? It was Kayla. Let's go to. So if you guys go to fileplay.site, they have all of these different case files and stuff also that you can look up. I think so too. So here, let's just for shits and giggles look up when did Kayla Avery talk to investigators and write that report. Of course, I can never find anything on this website very well. Oh, maybe it's because I need to write it here. Kayla Avery. February 27th, 2006. Wow. Wow. So on February 11th, 2006, Fassbender and Wiegert talked to Kayla. Wow, this is big statements here. Katie Conley must have lost 30 pounds. So you've got that happening on the same day as Brendan being talked, probably after, let's see, $8 at night. Let me see if I can find. Actually, it's on here. It's down here. If you want to look at it. Kayla's written statement. Here we go. 3/7. So this was still after Brendan was arrested. So then what came first? The 27th, they questioned Kayla, and she says, you know, about and Candy and Earl. And then on 3/7, so this is about 7 days after Brendan was arrested, she made the claim about Steven and all of that. But then they questioned Brendan 3 or 4 times before they even talked to Kayla on the 27th. So tell me I'm wrong again. They had him on the radar. They were continuously going after Brendan before Kayla. See, it all matters. It's all here in black and white. This isn't just us making assumptions either. Like, it's clearly they targeted him since November 6th. a couple of days after, they found that she went missing. Yeah, they had Brendan on the radar in November, in the beginning of November. You cannot tell me that he wasn't, he went to them. And then the only time that you could arguably say that he went to the investigators is, like I said, is on May 12th, when O'Kelly persuaded Brendan to talking to Fassbender and Wiegert the next day when they went to the jail and they tried to talk to him again. And even then, he said, he didn't really ask them to be there. That was O'Kelly. Because if you look here, see, Fassbender. The only time Fassbender was mentioned was 4 times. Would you like me? Yeah, so he's basically saying if Teresa was alive right now, she'd want you to testify against Stephen, right? And she'd want you to tell the truth to the police department. And would you like me to be there when you talk to the police? And he says, I don't know, I'd be more than willing. When are they doing this? They might come over tonight if you let them. See? So he's asking him, would you like to testify against Stephen Avery? Pretty much telling the same story. I would like you to work with police and tell them the truth. Then he takes out his cell phone. Okay, my concern for you is I'd like you to cooperate with the police department. They want to interview you also if you'd let them. If you'd work with them, I feel comfortable at the home and support you. See, so he's basically talking Brendan into talking to the police the very next day. But the police come in and say, hey, you asked us to be here, right? And of course, Brendan's just like, he doesn't know what to say to that. Like, it's all there. So you have to remember there was a law passed that required only to have new training, and since they went. Yeah, exactly. They did. It was within a couple of months too before all this, if I remember correctly. None of the convicting show lovers ever used case files to argue with. They take the word of a show, not documentation. More concerned that ma'am lied to them of the victim are wrongfully confused. Yeah, right. See, and a lot of these people that listen to convicting a murderer and that are like, well, is making a murderer lied to you? Well, a lot of us supporters have been in this for a long time, didn't base our decision merely on a documentary. We looked at the case files ourselves. We went through everything. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, I watched 10 episodes of Making a Murderer, and now, some people did do that. Some people watched it and thought, this, whatever. A lot of us, though, who are here, standing here still, who have the YouTube channels and all that, we go through the case files. We go through the evidence. It's all there in black and white. This kid was basically on the radar since November. The very beginning. He had to have been. Think about it. If you think Stephen did it, right, Brendan would have had to have been on the radar since the very beginning, since before Kayla, because Brendan was Stephen's alibi. If you truly believe Stephen was guilty, and you thought that investigators were doing their job, then you cannot deny the fact that Brendan was Stephen's alibi that night, and he had to have been on the radar since the beginning of this. I don't even know why that's a hard thing to comprehend. Right? Just think about it. The police's narrative is that it happened on the 31st in this big fire, which I don't even think happened on the 31st, and that Brendan was there to help him. That's always been their narrative. They just didn't have, they just made it, they had to manipulate a teenager to get it. It was all the dust set. Yeah, for me, it's the lack of evidence. You know, really, truly. The lack of evidence that, you know, they said that this horrific crime happened in that bedroom, and you can look at nothing, not even, not even an ounce of Windex has touched that bedroom for them to even clean blood and gore and hair and this torture chamber like picture that they want you to believe happened in there. You know what I mean? And then I swear, and I don't know what happened to those pictures, but there's a picture of investigators actually sitting on the mattress that supposedly Stephen tied her up on and raped her and did all these horrific things. And you have them sitting on it? Come on. So that's my, you know, I rest my case on the whole thing of, you know, and I'm ready to, once Candace Owens drops this next episode, I'm probably going to go live and talk about it and break it down and debunk it, because they hadn't made that up yet. Exactly, Carol. They haven't gotten that far yet. They hadn't come up with that story yet. They were still thinking of it. But yeah, I just, you know, like, and I this is a Brendan channel, so like I could probably do an episode, or I could probably do a live on each episode for both Stephen and Brendan, but I'm gonna concentrate mostly on Brendan because I know other places are doing Stephen stuff too. So, but I'm probably gonna go live like the next day, maybe Friday morning, and kind of go over the episode and kind of show you the real evidence and proof, especially this whole like, well, he was never on the radar until after Kayla. Obviously not true. Just like with this person, did not put him on the radar. Kayla Avery did not put him on. Kayla Avery is a part of the puzzle of what happened with Kayla Avery, and her role in all this gave them an excuse to go back to Brendan, but they would have gotten there anyway. You know what I mean? They knew that Brendan was going to give them what they wanted. My thoughts are is that day on November 6th when he was sitting in the back of the police car and they're asking him those questions, and they saw how easy it was to get him to answer, kind of like, how many brothers do you have, Brendan? Do you have 5 brothers? And he's like, yeah. So there's 5 of you? Well, technically there's 4. You know what I mean? So I think they kind of got that hint, or, you know, hey, we can get this kid to say whatever we want him to say, and we can get Stephen with him. Yeah, she did. She recanted, didn't she? We investigation documents affect both beings and show that neither narrative you say. Yeah, exactly. Well, there's 2 different crimes. There's 2 different murders. You know? From sounds good if I could do each episode. Yeah. I'm gonna leave each episode to Jinx, and I think Linda might try to do it. Hopefully, if she's feeling up to it. I think it would be a good project for both of them. Something to concentrate on other than, you know, what's going on with Linda's health. But yeah, no, but I'm definitely going to be, if it involves Brendan, you're definitely going to be seeing me hitting that live button and discussing what I saw and how it's stupid. And, you know, I'm not going to block this MERB person, by the way. I recognize their name. MERP. So if they ever come back, because I'd love to you know, my whole thing with this channel is to try to educate people on what happened to Brendan and to help bring people. There was did someone delete them? Oh well. Yeah. It's cool if you deleted them. You don't have to worry about it. I don't care actually. But like, you know, I'm all for like discussing these things, but to be like you all are delusional when I'm showing you the proof. Hey Jace, you just missed the part. You just missed our troll. Oh well. No, they're still there. Anyway, well, I'm going to be getting off of here soon and laying down. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thank you for stopping by. And, you know, if you're in our Discord, please, or if you're not in our Discord, please consider joining. If you're not in the Facebook group, please consider joining. And please remember to be kind to one another. Life is too short to basically be a bitter troll who goes around and spews out false information on things that are plainly obvious to see. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great time. And I heard Pete might be trying to, I think Pete's starting to feel a little bit better. He says he's going to try to make it Friday. So if I don't see y'all in Discord, then I'll see y'all on Friday. Yep. All right. I'm going to play this little golden nugget and close this off.
You were appointed, was it on March 7th or March 8th?
March 7th.
March 7th, okay. Did you talk to Brendan on that day on March 7th?
I don't believe I did.
Okay. However, you did talk to the press, is that right?
Yeah, shortly after the appointment, the calls started rolling into the office.
Sure. I want to draw your attention to a news report from Channel 26 that says we have a 16-year-old who, while morally and legally responsible, was heavily influenced by someone that can only be described as something close to evil incarnate. Right?
That's what it says I said, but that wasn't me.
Okay. Is there anything about this statement that bothers you?
To say that we have a 16-year-old who's morally and legally responsible, that would in effect admit guilt, and that is something you should definitely not say.
Just for the record, Your Honor, Mr. Kaczynski testified that he did not make those comments, and this exhibit is being introduced as impeachment evidence to demonstrate that, in fact, Mr. Kaczynski made those comments.
The court will receive it.
Attorney Len Kaczynski immediately lashed out at Stephen Avery.
We have a 16-year-old who, while morally and legally responsible, was heavily influenced by someone that can only be described as something close to evil incarnate.
And the next day, you make the statement that if the confession is valid and admissible as evidence, it would almost certainly result in a conviction. Correct. Okay. You still haven't reviewed Brendan's statement, right?
No, that's correct.
First statement?
Correct.
All right. March 10th.
The rules that Governor Evers has issued say nothing about restricting his ability to issue commutations. A commutation is the shortening of a sentence, and so that's one option on the table still for Brendan Dassey. And as for his rules regarding pardons, those rules say nothing about the case of someone who is actually innocent, like Brendan Dassey. When you have an innocent person sentenced to life behind prison, that's exactly the situation that the clemency power was tailor-made to address. This is a case that federal judges have called a profound miscarriage of justice, and we're calling on Governor Evers to remedy that injustice today.